Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua's fate is sealed, and Kenyans might have a new deputy president by Saturday, ahead of the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale. According to our constitution, in case the office of the deputy president remains vacant, the president has 14 days to nominate a new person. But William Ruto is not taking any chance. William Ruto is going to name a new deputy president. Immediately, the Senate is done with Rigathi Gachagua. That is likely to be tomorrow. And everything is already aligned. The judiciary is aligned, parliament is aligned, and of course, for those who followed Kalonzo Musyoka's speech yesterday, he also alluded to something which is significant politically speaking. Listening to Kalonzo Musyoka.
When I said the courts are our last line of defense, do you know the day Gachagua was impeached by the National Assembly, right? For fear that now his lawyers will file pleadings to try and stop it, the judicial digital system failed, I think for 24 hours.
Is that so?
That is serious. So I expect Chief Justice Martha Koome and the team and the Judicial Service Commission to actually say no to this type of manipulation. So when you see me coming before Citizen Studios and others to shout, it is because we love this country.
That just tells you the length with which the government is keen on impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. And for you to understand it even better, Parliament is already on standby. There's a story which I want us to go through on the People's Daily. But let me just share with you this program, the motion, which has been released by the National Assembly, that they'll be sitting on Friday. So which means on Friday, Parliament will be sitting and they'll be discussing and probably approving the new deputy president. And of course, you know, this process will end by tomorrow. Then they'll ensure that the judiciary will not be able to operate until Parliament is done and dusted with Rigathi Gachagua. Let me now go through this story on the People's Daily, because in this video, I want us to focus on two main things. The first thing I want us to focus on is the dilemma William Ruto is finding himself and who is likely to be that new deputy president. But before we get into all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to dive in. And again, before I dive in, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also support this channel by sending the coffee through the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Cup of coffee only goes for 200 bob, but you can do more. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this video by going through this story on the People's Daily. The story says here, President William Ruto's allies are planning to install a new deputy president as soon as Saturday if the Senate upholds the National Assembly's decision to impeach the incumbent Rigathi Gachagua. So according to this story, by Saturday will be done and dusted. The story proceeds. Highly placed sources in government and the National Assembly revealed in confidence a plan was afoot to convene a special sitting as early as Friday to consider Gachagua's successor. Now you can now make reference to that notice which was issued by the National Assembly, where the members of Parliament have been asked to convene on Friday. The agenda is going to be one, the new deputy president. So which means William Ruto has really planned this thing. It proceeds. The murmurs came as the High Court threw out a petition filed by Gachagua seeking to stop the Senate from debating his impeachment this morning, clearing the way for lawmakers to uphold or reject the MP's decision to send him home. Impeachments are political processes. And what William Ruto is trying to do is that he's taking charge of this process. Any slight mistake that will allow Rigathi Gachagua to continue becoming the deputy president, even for an extra day, can actually lead to William Ruto being sent home. Let me just proceed here. Justice Chacha ruled that court could not interfere with the constitutional mandate of parliament. Of course, that's the role of the parliament. And it proceeds. The National Assembly sources confided in People's Daily yesterday that the government had put in place the necessary measures, including a prepared Kenya Gazette notice containing the name of Gachagua's successor that will be published as soon as the senators uphold the DP's impeachment, likely tomorrow night. That's Thursday. The moment the senators will be done, by around 5:30 there, the president will issue the name. By morning on Friday, members of parliament, the robots, shall have voted. And on Saturday, in Kwale, the president will be accompanied by a new deputy president. A senior government official disclosed that by Saturday morning, Kenyans would have a new deputy president who will not only have been gazetted, but also approved by the National Assembly. Hey, okay. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Rigathi Gachagua's fate is sealed. But even as William Ruto is planning all this, he's facing serious political dilemma on how to choose and who to pick. In this video, I want us to look at some of the dilemmas William Ruto is facing. In this video, I want us to look at some of the dilemma the president is actually facing, and of course, who is likely to be that person. The first dilemma William Ruto is facing is actually the betrayal tag. William Ruto won the hearts of the mountain by appearing as someone who was being betrayed by none other than Uhuru Kenyatta at that time. So the mountain defied Uhuru Kenyatta and stood by William Ruto. So it means William Ruto is in a situation where his new deputy president must actually come from the mountain. But again, there's a catch there, because the mountain, from all indications, is already done and dusted with William Ruto, which means William Ruto can decide to go and pick someone else. Let's say Mudavadi. Because by picking Mudavadi, he'll be assured that maybe he might get new support base. But for the Mount Kenya, they're already decided. In fact, for me, the Mount Kenya is already decided. Those who will vote for Ruto, whether he is going to pick a new running mate from whichever part of the country. Those who have already decided that them and Ruto are done, that's already done. So that betrayal tag is something I know William Ruto is actually trying to deal with. Number two, there's also the issue of the game of numbers, which basically means the 2027 political equation. Even as William Ruto is planning to appoint a new deputy president, he must figure out who can bring the numbers. Where are the numbers coming from? Will the mountain give me the numbers? Or should I just give them to deal with this betrayal tag? And if the mountain will not be giving me the numbers, where can I get the numbers? And that's why there are those who believe that probably Gladys Wanga might be considered. Because if Gladys Wanga were to be appointed as a deputy president, history is going to be made again. And we've seen William Ruto trying to make those history, appointing the first finance minister, the Dorcas Oduor appointed the other day, General Logola. So he might decide and pick Gladys Wanga just to win the support of the Luo nation, because that is his only lifeline. Number three is the stability of the Republic of Kenya. You know, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, even from the way they were appointed, just like Uhuru and Ruto, they were not compatible. There was no ideological convergence, but they were tied at the hip because of a particular objective. For Ruto and Uhuru, the intention was to win the presidency against Raila. For Rigathi and Ruto, the intention was to win the Mount Kenya support base. So can that lead to some instability, the mountain, because of the sentiments you are hearing from the mountain? So you must also deal with that. Can the person is going to appoint, unite the mountain? Can he unite the country? Will he be acceptable across the country? Of course, majority of Kenyans have also questioned for a very long time the choices of William Ruto, especially if you look at his cabinet, before he appoints to some key strategic positions. And of course, maybe William Ruto would want to redeem the image of his government, which begs the question, what kind of individual can he appoint as his deputy who would then help him redeem the image of his government? Is he going to pick a youth to appeal to the Gen Zs? Is he going to pick someone who is more experienced? Or is he going to pick someone who has ambitions? Let's say someone like Ndindi Nyoro. If you were to pick Ndindi Nyoro, let's say Kimani Ichung'wah, those are people with ambition. So it means they'll be appointed today. The next day they'll start planning for future. So William Ruto will have to deal with all those. So those are some of the dilemmas William Ruto is going to deal with. And in fact, if you were to ask me, the choice for that running mate, the choice for that deputy president can come from the mountain or from Western Alliance, where the mountain, we have the Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. Whether it picks from Mount Kenya West, which is the Embu, Meru, Tharaka, where Kindiki comes from, or it picks from the Mount Kenya West, the Kikuyu nation, still, some people will not be satisfied. So he's facing serious political dilemma. If you were to go to Western Kenya, and let's say pick Mudavadi, how will the mountain react? But now let us focus on some of the names. The name of Kindiki is actually coming up. Kindiki has worked with William Ruto for a very long time, and it's not controversial. Of course, I doubt if majority of Kenyans will have issues with Kindiki, though after the Gen Z protest and the police brutality, most Kenyans nowadays question the suitability of Professor Kithure Kindiki. But I know as Kindiki is not that kind of a person who would really want to do bad things. So Kindiki is there. Anne Waiguru, even yesterday, was it yesterday or Sunday, organized and mobilized people to go and demonstrate for her to be appointed. Her term as a governor is coming to an end. And Anne Waiguru is being pushed by the G7, the women governors. They want one of their own to be the deputy president. So will William Ruto be able to heed to the G7? Because, you know, women is easier to work with women. I'm sure if William Ruto had appointed a woman, probably we will not be witnessing what we are witnessing today. Ndindi Nyoro is also being mentioned, but I'm not so sure whether Ruto will nominate Ndindi Nyoro. I think Ndindi Nyoro, after the finance bill debate in parliament, and of course the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, where he never participated, I doubt if Ndindi Nyoro will be considered. Then there's the Mudavadi. Everybody is talking of Mudavadi because he has the record of being the shortest serving deputy president, maybe. Yeah, and of course the Western Alliance, you look at it from that perspective. The name of Kimani Ichung'wah is coming up, but I doubt if William Ruto would go that route. He would want Kimani Ichung'wah to remain in parliament. Maybe William Ruto can also decide to just come with a name, fresh name. Someone is telling me about the former Nyeri deputy governor, who is nowadays working very closely with Raila Odinga, whether she can be appointed. I don't want to rule out possibility. Maybe Raila will recommend her name. But of course, there are also those who are talking of Raila Odinga being appointed. I doubt if that can happen. Because the day Ruto will appoint Raila Odinga, the Kikuyu nation will really rebel against him. But of course, we are in politics. If Raila Odinga will bring the numbers that William Ruto needs, then nothing will stop William Ruto from appointing Raila Amolo Odinga. So let us wait. Let us follow the proceedings today. And just like I told you, this impeachment is a political process. Rigathi Gachagua has not committed any crime for him to be impeached, but he must go. Because there's nothing new if you go through those charges that Rigathi Gachagua has done. If you talk of the inheritance of his brother, I mean, these are things in public domain. If you read papers, some of them were even raised before, as early, even before Rigathi became a member of parliament. So they are not new. It's only that some political problems must be solved somewhere. And the person who will help in solving those problems is Rigathi Gachagua, who must go for the problems to be solved. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.